There has been a lot of speculation about what was being discussed between President Donald Trump and former President Barack Obama at Jimmy Carter's funeral. They seemed very jovial. They didn't seem confrontational at all, and I've been doing some digging and looking at the landscape from kind of the helicopter view a little bit politically, and I think I know what they were talking about. 2028. I think Donald Trump is going to give Barack Obama his greatest wish, a chance at a third term, because Donald Trump wants to be president or king forever. And he thinks he can beat him. And Obama is sure that he can beat Trump. I think this is what we're looking at. But there are folks talking about this saying, Florida Marquis, it can't happen because of this, and this. I'm going to disprove the this, and this by hopping into the Wayback Machine and showing you things that only a few years ago you would have never believed. But mark my words, this is what's coming. They are going to get rid of the constitutional amendment providing for term limits. They're going to get rid of it completely so that Obama can run against Trump in 2028. Now, I know a lot of you think it can't happen, but stick with me. This is what we're going to be looking at. And it's going to be, every year they say this is the election unlike any other. Well, this will definitely go down in the record books, putting every other election to shame. Because this truly is the embodiment of the war between two philosophies for this country going forward. Obama embodies the entire progressive leftist worldview all up in one man. And Donald Trump embodies the entire right. Now, real quick, before we get into this, as always, very important to be thankful during tough times. And I know it's tough for everybody out there. That's why I'm thankful, and I want to say thank you every single day to those who've continued to support this channel over at the Florida Marquis Patreon channel. 4 levels, 2, 5, 10, and 15 a month. It is making a huge difference in my life. There wouldn't be Florida Marquis YouTube videos without that channel over there right now. There just wouldn't be the ability to do it. So God bless every one of you. Love to have you over there. It is just the most amazing thing I would have never imagined in my whole life, which is kind of the theme of today's video. Things you couldn't have imagined. Things you could never imagine coming true. So once again, God bless. Thank you guys so much. Let's get right to it. How Trump could bend the Constitution. Now, this is from time.com. I'm going to read this real quick, just a little snippet of it. And I know a lot of people are going to want to start typing already. But stick around for a minute. And give me a chance to make my case for this. How Trump could bend the Constitution on behalf of Obama. Politico magazine recently outlined 4 ways Trump could, quote, snatch a third term despite the Second Amendment, which it summarized as change the Constitution, sidesteps the Constitution, ignore the Constitution, or defy the Constitution. Trump's Attorney General, Pam Bondi, acknowledged during her confirmation hearing that a third Trump term would require a changing the Constitution. And Trump ally, Representative Andy Ogles from Tennessee, introduced a joint resolution to try to kickstart that process on the 23rd of January. The resolution seeks to amend the Constitution such that no person shall be elected to the office of the president more than 3 times, and here's the critical part here you need to pay attention to, nor be elected to any additional term after being elected to 2 consecutive terms. You see, this is their "we're afraid of Obama" clause. Nor be elected to any additional term after being elected to 2 consecutive terms. This is the "we're afraid of Obama and possibly Bill Clinton." We're afraid of Obama and Clinton clause that these Republicans are putting in here. Now, here's the caveat. But despite Republicans holding a majority in both the House and the Senate, amending the Constitution has a much higher threshold than normal bill passage. It requires 2/3 support from both chambers and ratification by 3/4 of the states. And in a classical view, there is no way such an amendment would meet those thresholds, says renowned constitutional scholar and dean of UC Berkeley Law, Erwin Chemerinsky. Now, here's the part. He says all of this would have to occur. All of these different things would have to occur in a 2 to 3 year period. He says it's impossible. Can Barack Obama, now this is also contest for a third term if there's a change to the 22nd Amendment. Now, some are like say, Florida Maquis, you're crazy. This could never happen. This is absolutely, it's pie in the sky thinking. I want you to think about something. It was only about a year ago, maybe a little bit more, that the man standing right next to Mr. President here, Mr. Donald Trump, was openly supporting Governor Ron DeSantis in the primary against Donald Trump. How many of you remember that? What if I had told you then? What if I had told you then that the you need an electric car guy was going to be Trump's most able, most right-wing, most right-hand man in his administration for the first month? You would have said, Florida Maquis, you're crazy. It could never happen. You would have said that then, but look at the reality now. What if I had told you, Mr. I'm going to be the healthiest appointee ever, Kennedy, Democrat, would be sitting preaching to you about healthy choices in your life while also sitting here at a table with aforementioned billionaire Elon Musk, President Donald Trump, Donald Trump's son, and Speaker Johnson, all eating McDonald's, swilling down some high fructose corn syrup, also included in all of the buns of all the sandwiches, HFCS, starches, and horrible fast food, and that you'd be believing them. You'd be believing them when they were preaching to you about what healthy choices are. The same guy who's openly talked about using brain chips to deprogram the cult of Christianity, the cult of Christianity, the same guy that created the electric car that you have to use a Cat 994H, burning 800 gallons of fuel every 12-hour shift, needing to move 500,000 pounds of earth to get the minerals for one replaceable temporary Tesla car battery. That this would be make America have common sense again. Oh, but it gets better. It gets better. How many of you remember, I'd love a mean tweet and $1.79 gas right now? How many of you have seen any posts that would even be remotely considered mean tweets? Are we anywhere near $1.79 gas? Is anybody talking about this? No, nobody cares. Also, nobody cares about the gun ban that just occurred in Colorado. You see, we've shown Lauren Boebert, Gulf of MAGA. Those of you that don't know what that is, go over to Florida Maquis posts on the communities tab, and you'll see Miss Boebert in her attempt to get the Gulf of America renamed to the Gulf of MAGA. But anyway, yeah, I love guns. Colorado Senator, Representative Boebert. Interesting. Colorado passes sweeping ban on semi-automatic weapons, and nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody's talking about it. Go look on X, Twitter. Go look on Elon Musk own and run Twitter, where you'd think this would be a big deal. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Of course, it kind of makes sense from a guy that said, I like taking the guns away early. Take the guns first, go through due process second. Way back in, what was that, 17? Hillary, still free. Still free, and nobody is talking about, not even this guy, not even on the radar. Everybody's talking about Adam Schiff this, Adam Schiff that, Adam Schiff the other. Who the hell's Adam Schiff? Like I care about Adam Schiff. Having sworn his allegiance, his oath on the Bhagavad Gita, which falls in line because at the Republican National Convention, they opened all of these ceremonies with a prayer to the great Waheguru, the one true God. Those of you that didn't see that, go to the Florida Maquis Shorts section on the Florida Maquis YouTube page and scroll back about a half a dozen little short videos, and you'll see Republicans praying to the Indian false god, Director of National Intelligence, Vice President of the United States. I mean, maybe Wahid Guru does have some power. I don't know, but I'll tell you what, I don't think anybody else could get away with this. Shaking hands with dictator Kim Jong-un, shaking hands with I want Sharia to sweep all over Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, shaking hands with Mohammed bin Salman, the leader of Saudi Arabia, where there you are mandatorily required to honor praying 5 times a day that they announce over loudspeakers. Donald Trump posing with 2 sodomites here that decided that they are now pretend daddies because they used their combined seed to impregnate some random woman, and now they own the child like property. Standing around the glowing orb with hands united with the rest of the world in a great show of globalism, and standing with your best buddy in your own private home that you've invited, Mr. Jeffrey Epstein, while you're in your mid-50s, late 60s, and you're watching all of the NFL cheerleader girls that are in their early 20s dance around. Any other human being on the planet wouldn't even be able to run for dog catcher. No other human being on the planet would be able to run and have any chance of winning dog catcher. So, all I'm saying when it comes to, the idea of Trump versus Obama, when it comes to the idea of Trump versus Obama and the amending of the Constitution and the allowing of third terms, don't underestimate the left and the right and their ability to get together to make this happen. Because the left is desperate. The left is desperate. The left would be perfectly fine giving Trump his desire for a third term if it meant they could install Obama. And all they've got to do is just take that one little bit of language out saying that it doesn't matter if it's 2 consecutive terms already served or not. It doesn't matter. The left has a vested interest in this because they want Obama back. And the right has a vested interest in this because they want to see Trump be king forever. Because nothing he does matters. Think about it. Nothing he does matters anymore. You can keep the receipts like I have and show them, and it still won't convince anybody that they're being played. And this takes us all the way back to the Florida Maquis Patreon channel. Why does it take us back there? Because the reason that is the case is because right now we are a country of people that are operating emotionally. Trump is the expression of an emotion. So is Obama. They're both expressions, not of thought, not of rational consideration. They're both irrational, emotional, knee-jerk reaction people to a perceived threat that may or may not exist. And this is what we talk about at the Florida Maquis Patreon channel, living the thought-based life. 24 psychological dysphorias that affect every human being on the planet. 24 cognitive biases, 24 logical fallacies. If you don't know what they are, look them up. Easy to find on the internet. We go through videos and we talk about them specifically. We show examples saying the reason this is going this way politically is because of this particular mental dysphoria. And the reason now here 6 months later we're going this other way, another one. That's what we talk about. So once again, God bless. The Bible even has a scripture about something regarding men pleasers doing things for the sight of men to feel a certain way. But we'll get into that in another video. God bless. Pray for each other. Pray for me, I'll pray for you. Lift each other up. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.